What's up guys, I'm Nolan, and in today's video I'll be doing a full recap on the Apple iPad 3 event that just took place on March 7th. Alright, so at the event they came out with a lot of new things, including apps, software, and products, and I will jump in right to the apps. So the first app that they announced was iPhoto, and iPhoto will bring a great new way to edit your apps. They've got brushes, filters, all different kinds of editing tools, and a great way to manage and keep all of your photos in one place, and that will be $5 in the App Store. Next that they announced was a little bit of update for iMovie. I did notice that they came out with a new icon for iMovie. I didn't see much, there's not much differences within the app. There are a little bit with like themes and sound effects and the way you can interact with stuff, but there isn't much there, and that can be also found in the App Store for $5, and if you already have it, of course, you can update for free. Next one, they updated iWork and GarageBand, but I'm not going to go into those. GarageBand getting the most, but I won't go much into those. Alright, next up they announced iOS 5.1, an update, and that is going to bring new features. One that they said was that for the 4S, it is going to bring Japanese, so Siri will be able to talk and interact in Japanese. I don't really care much for that, but some of you may actually want that. And they also came out with other features. I don't know all of them, but once I find more info on that, I'll of course do a video if I see a bunch of new features in that. Alright, now let's move right on to the products. First product that was announced was the Apple TV. Now, that is not the big screen Apple TV that has been rumored around like crazy. It is just your standard Apple TV black box, and they came out with a new one of those, and it is going to support 1080p recording, a new UI interface, I'm guessing a new processor because it is a new device and they are calling it a new device, but it will have 1080p recording, a new user interface, and it's going to bring also apps and different things that you can use. Maybe someday they'll come out with an app store for the Apple TV, so that'll be pretty nice. And actually the display on the home screen and everything else on the Apple TV is going to be in 1080p also. So that is going to be really awesome. Next up, the time you guys have been waiting for, the Apple iPad 3. Now, they actually did not call it the Apple iPad 3 or the Apple iPad HD. There is none of that. There is no tags on the end of the name whatsoever. No Apple iPad HD, iPad 3, iPad iSlice, whatever you want to call it. There is no tag at the end of the name. They actually announced it as the new iPad. And that is it. That's what they said. Now, people have been going crazy about the new iPad and why it is named that. They are saying that it is called the new iPad. You can just call it the iPad, or if you're referring to, like, if you're calling someone on tech support, you could say, I have the iPad 3rd generation. I don't think you would say, oh, I have the iPad, oh, I have the new iPad. I don't think you would refer to it as that, but that is what they did. They are dropping it, just like you wouldn't call the MacBook the MacBook Pro 6 or the MacBook Pro 3. You wouldn't call that. They just call it the MacBook. And if you want to refer to it, you could say the MacBook 2011 or such as that. So that's what their idea of that is dropping the tags for the iPad, because they wanted it to be more of bringing on the PC and bringing on the tablet of computering, not just tablet. But so that is the name for that. Next, they announced the processor. They brought the A5X, not the A6 processor, A5X, and they did say quad-core graphics, not just quad-core processor. The processor is still a dual-core, but they brought out quad-core graphics, which is supposed to bring a bunch of high processing and capabilities with graphics, so the images should look pretty awesome. Next, for the display, it came out with the Retina display that was rumored, bringing the resolution of 2048 by 1536 megapixels. That's 3.1 ppi, pixels per inch. So that display is going to be outstanding and very amazing, and I cannot wait to see that. Next, we have the camera. They updated the camera, bringing 5 megapixels, and this is on the rear camera. They actually did not talk about the front-facing camera in the event, so I'm pretty sure that didn't get upgraded at all, but we'll have to wait and see that. But as far as the back camera goes, we will see a 5 megapixels, 1080p recording, and the iPhone 4S optics inside of it. If you don't know what that is, it is new optics that Apple put into their iPhone 4S camera, which makes it outstanding quality. and they put that extra optics into the iPad 3, which they're actually calling that their Apple specialized camera. They named it the iSight camera, so that's what it will be referred to as from now on. And so that is 1080p again, 5 megapixels, and new optics. So that's pretty cool. And for the back-facing camera, it will have a bunch of new different things like face recognition, stabilizer, autofocus, and some other things that I'm not pretty sure what they are. I'm not a photo expert. Maybe some of you guys, photo experts out there, will know what those are. But it brings a lot of new abilities to the for the back-facing camera, which will be really nice. Alright, now for one of the biggest things, the iPad 3 will have 4G LTE capabilities. That is on Verizon and AT&T. Now don't worry if you're in an area where your carrier does not support 4G. It is also compatible with 3G, and then once that carrier comes out with 4G in your area, you can go ahead and upgrade with that. But that's going to be 4G, and that is 73 megabytes a second of download speed. That is crazy fast, and it's better than all the other internet speeds that you see from mobile devices, and it is going to be very awesome to have in your hand. Now this is 9.4 millimeters thick, I believe, so it is a little thicker than the iPad 2, and it is 1.4 pounds, I believe. So there is not much difference. You're not going to notice it, but it is a little bit more thicker, and that is probably due to all the new specs that are inside of the iPad. The battery life, we are going to be seeing it lasting 10 hours and 9 hours on 4G. That's 10 hours just on standard Wi-Fi and 9 hours on 4G, but we'll just have to wait and see how accurate that is and see how that plays out. Alright, so as far as the pricing goes for the iPad 3, you can go ahead and pick up the Wi-Fi version for $499. That is the 16 gigabyte, the 32 gigabyte for $599, and the 64 gigabyte for $699. And if you want to get up the 4G plus Wi-Fi version, that'll run you $629 for the 32 for the 16, and then the. Alright, so as far as the pricing goes for the iPad 3, you can go ahead and pick the Wi-Fi version model, 16 gigabyte for $499, the 32 gigabyte for $599, and the 64 for $699. And if you want to go ahead and get the 4G plus Wi-Fi capabilities, that'll run you $629 for the 16 gigabyte. 32 gigabyte will be $729, and the 64 will be $829. And so go ahead and pick those up. And pre-ordering starts today. So go on Apple.com and order those, or go into your local store and get it there also. Pick up that, as well as the Apple TV. You can go ahead and pre-order that today for $9.99, just as the previous Apple TVs were. So go ahead and pick those up if you want to. Pre-ordering starts today, so hurry up. Anyways, I think that about covers it for the quick recap of the event that took place. It seems like all the rumors were spot on the iPad 3, and all what they said came true, so that is pretty cool, and I'm excited to get my hands on one of these devices and review it for you guys. And also I will be reviewing the iPhoto app, showing you guys some of the new abilities it brings and what you can do and interact with that, so be sure to stay tuned for that. But that seems about it for today. Please drop me a like button down below. It helps me a lot, and subscribe above if you want to see more of these videos, and I will catch you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. See you later.